Okay, it's week 7 recap time. 7 weeks done, 9 to go. Last week was a little bit disrupted with a mini kind of weekend break with the family towards the end of the week. Let's get on with it, dive in and cover my week 7 of marathon training. So we're in this middle third of the block now, and this is probably going to be the toughest section. Towards the last third, last few weeks of the block, I'll start to drill down into the marathon pace stuff a bit more regularly, but this middle section is going to be difficult, not because of the training, but because I've got a few mini kind of breaks planned with the family over the summer. The kids are now off, so I've got less time to get out and run. Those with children and families, etc., know the balance you've got to put together to get your training, and obviously time spent with your family whilst it's summer break. But yeah, we're in that middle section now, so I'm going to have to try and manoeuvre it and adjust it where possible. But again, just to repeat myself, I'm fairly relaxed if things need to be moved around. I'm fairly more experienced now. Yes, I know that ideally it would be followed to the exact plan. A long run should be a long run, all in one go, but if you end up having to chunk it and do it in 2 separate blocks, so be it. It's not ideal, but the mileage will still be banked, and in the grand scheme of things, yeah, the paces I'm kind of planning to run, it's not going to make all that much of a difference anyway. So yeah, in terms of week 7, I knew I was going away towards the end of the week. I was away Friday to Monday, a long weekend with the family, so I wanted to try and front load it, get as much done as I could before going away, just so I wasn't having to worry about squeezing loads in over the weekend. But yeah, I started with a recovery session. Yeah, week 6 was up there with one of my highest mileage weeks ever. Obviously I hit that mark maybe a couple of times 2 years ago, but I haven't done it all often since. So yeah, Monday daytime got a recovery session banked, YSFR, helped the legs recover, knowing that I was going to do quite a few longish runs in the first couple of days of the week. And then that evening I got out as I normally do, got out for my easy run, and again I vlogged the previous week's recap. So what I'm doing now is what tends to be my routine: start the week off with some easy mileage, vlog the previous week, and kickstart the next week. And yeah, in terms of the easy run stats, just over 19k this week in week 7, just under 12 miles, and yeah, average pace 5:15 per k or 8:26 per mile. And as always, it's just about low heart rate, getting the miles in with as little stress on the body as possible, and like I said, building that base up aerobically. If I can run quite a decent amount of the marathon with a lower heart rate, that'll put me in good stead for the second half. Tuesday I wanted to get back out, but again, big week in week 6 and a fairly long one to start off week 7. My legs weren't feeling ready for a long run workout, and I didn't want to dilute it down and go out and do a slower long run, so I pivoted, got out for a recovery cycle, not too far, about 5k, a couple of loops locally, just to get the legs moving, get the blood back into them and get some active recovery done. And then that evening I also did another recovery session, again just to help the legs loosen off, not feel heavy and lethargic with increased mileage. On to Wednesday, and again I was packing for Thursday. I was going to be travelling on Friday, so the days were quickly running out to get this long run done, so I got it done on Wednesday, and now it's time to start doing some proper long runs. I said we're in that middle meaty bit of the block now. You can't keep putting them off. I'm running a marathon after all. If I don't do the long run, which is the bread and butter, then I'm going to hit a wall at some point. Those who have watched for long enough know that I'm not all that experienced, I suppose. I don't run all that long all that often, I generally run up to say 10 miles, maybe 12 miles, but again not all that often, maybe once a week. So yeah, anything beyond that is still fairly alien to me in terms of how the legs feel, the legs going for that long, that length of time, and also nutrition, hydration, getting that nailed down over the next couple of weeks. So yeah, Wednesday of week 7, the plan called for a 30k, so just below 19 miles, 18.5 just over mile wise. And again, I wanted to just set off at a comfortable pace, so kind of easy pace, but again, over that kind of distance things get tough in the second half. Replicating a marathon race day where I could have gone and done the first 10 15k much quicker, but it would have made the second 10 or 15k much tougher. It's just about being patient, setting off at a pace that feels comfortable, and then as the time ticks by, things naturally get harder. You start to use up your energy stores. So yeah, 30k long run, and yeah, the average for the whole run ended up being 5 minutes 12 per k, or 8:22 per mile. So not rapid, kind of like saying my easy paced window. But yeah, details on screen, happy with the heart rate, happy with how that felt throughout the duration, and like I said, I've got plenty of time left, 9 more weeks. Towards the end of the block I'll start to do a bit more specific marathon pace blocks within those long runs. Once I bank a few of them and build up that leg strength again, I'll start to do say 4, 5, 6, 7k blocks within that long run at a specific marathon pace, probably my marathon training pace, just to see how that feels and guide me for race day. On to Thursday, and I decided to get another recovery session in, and I'll explain later in the week why that was beneficial. But yeah, normally I get 2 or 3 in over the week, but I've done 3 in the first 4 days. Wanted to see if that makes any benefit, any changes, any difference to how the legs feel later in the week, especially on the back of that long run and the long mileage, bigger mileage week the week before. On to Friday, I was travelling down to Northamptonshire kind of way, down for the obviously long weekend with the family, so it was a complete rest day. I didn't get a chance to do anything, just driving most of the day, and when we arrived obviously it was holiday mode. So yeah, complete rest day on Friday, which is probably welcomed and warranted at that point. And then on to Saturday. Yeah, so in my head the plan was Saturday run, Sunday run. Obviously Monday I was travelling back, plus I'm into week 8 on Monday, so yeah, 2 days left of the week, 2 runs to do. So that was the plan. So yeah, Saturday in the morning before it got too hot, because the weather's glorious and I'm not complaining, even though I don't do well with hot weather running, I'm not going to complain. We've had months and months of rain, so yeah, it's going to be a warm day, so I wanted to get out early as I could, within reason, and get the run done. It was on a hilly kind of Centre Park site, hardly any flat, so yeah, decided to make it a steezy hill run, not to burn myself out too much. It was just a mileage run with obviously quite a bit of elevation gain is of benefit. I think the plan called for more of a threshold effort, but there's no way I was going to be able to do that on that kind of terrain and elevation. Yeah, so I had about an hour to get the run done, so ended up being a 13.5k, 8.5 mile, that's a steezy hilly hot run, and the average pace 4:53 per k or 7:51 per mile. But the actual effort, in terms of my core rest, because of the ups and downs and all the hills, the actual effort pace was 4:25. So if it was a flat route, that's put kind of the pace I would have been running, which is close to threshold. So again, not exactly what was on the plan, but I got some miles in. It was of some benefit in terms of extra hill work. So yeah, take that, bank it, and we'll move on. And then Sunday, all that was left was a speed session. And again, this week called for shorter, faster bursts, which was, again, I'm kind of thankful for. I wasn't doing like 1k or 2k repeats. Yeah, so this week I did 200 meter reps, 10 lots of them, with a 200 meter float jog recovery. So yeah, the workout was 2k warm up, 10 by 200 meter efforts, 200 meters float recovery as a jog generally, and then a 2k Cool down, 8k total, 5 miles, 457 per k, or 758 per mile was a total workout, including all the recoveries and the warm up and cool down and the reps. I averaged 333 per k, or 543 per mile for the 200 meter reps, so not rapid, but again I only had the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite, my race day shoe for the marathon, with me. They were great for that hilly steezy run the day before, but they're by no means a speed day shoe, so not loads of pop, but I did what I could with what I had. So yeah, that was the week done. Yeah, so a bit of a disrupted week, obviously family holiday. I wouldn't call that a disruption, but in terms of my usual daily running plans, the days I run on, they had to be adjusted. Weather sometimes had to be adjusted, and obviously where I was. Be happy to get the week banked, and yeah, in terms of weekly totals, just over 72k again, just under 45 miles this week, so that's 2 weeks on the bounce, and I'm happy with how I'm feeling. And like I mentioned earlier, I think those 3 recovery sessions earlier in the week helped to prep the legs, and they don't feel quite as bad as maybe they could have done, or maybe the training is starting to have an effect. And in terms of elevation gain, 520 meters, or just over 1700 feet, that's for week 7. So again, another chunk of hills. That steezy hilly run helped. There's a good few hundred meters on that run alone. So again, the more mileage I get, the more hills I get, especially this kind of just about first half of the block, I think will put me in good stead for the race itself in 10 weeks time. Week 8 has again begun. It's a hot, easy run today to get the week started. I'll recap this one obviously next week. I might reduce the mileage down a little bit. Today I might say tag it on later in the week. But yeah, I've got like 9 weeks left of proper training, and then hopefully a 1 week taper, maybe 10 days at the most. Should fine tune me for race day. It's a long way to go yet. The end of next week will be halfway. So loads of running to do, loads of training to do. But yeah, good luck with all your running. Thanks as always for watching and following along with the series. Happy running, and I'll see you all on the next one.